Now that we understand the importance of the breath, the physical aspects, I want to demonstrate a particular breath that has been deeply impactful for me and which I actually teach now. And it's a breath that I learned in that very first breathwork class I ever took. And I modified it to be my own because each of us needs to find the breath that's right for us. There is a science to the breath, so there are particular breaths which have particular effects. This one is meant to replace old with new. And it's as simple as that. We're clearing out everything negative and replacing it with fresh and new breath, new positive emotions. And usually this is done in a 45-minute class, an hour class, sometimes even as long as an hour and 15, depending on which students are there and how advanced they are in their practice. But I'm going to give you one tool which can change your life if you practice it. Just do it anytime you can. In the car, at a stoplight, at your desk, wherever you can, just take 5 minutes, and this will heal, at least for a short period of time. It will give you balance and present moment for at least a little bit. And the longer you practice, the more impactful it will be. So this particular breath is done through the mouth, everything through the mouth, which is a more energy creating breath. There are breaths which are done all through the nose, and those will relax the body, and those have different effects which are sometimes just as good. But this particular one, again, all through the mouth. So the way I will usually start class is everyone will get into seated position with the legs crossed. And you'll kind of sit there and find your breath, meaning where is your breath right now? Are you doing shallow chest breaths that really don't have any effect on your body? Or are you already breathing deeply? Whatever it is, sit there, find your breath. Where are you? Think about it. Take the time. Think really about where your breath is. Once you understand where it is, then let's take a couple of minutes and just balance the breath. And when I say balance, I mean equal inhales and exhales. Not long, not short, just a nice standing breath. Equal inhale. So as you see, it's very calming. And the thing is, I always tell people, listen to the breath. The sound of the breath will also heal. It will literally calm your nervous system because it sounds like the wind. It sounds like a wave. So first of all, listen to the breath. Listen to the sound that you're making and make a sound. Don't have this be a silent practice. So and view it like an ocean wave. So a wave will crash onto the shore and then it will recede. And then another one will come up over and crash onto the shore and then recede. And that's the movement you want in your breath, in your stomach. So the second thing is, I said the first thing is listen to the breath. The second, watch the stomach. And when I say watch the stomach, don't literally look down and watch your stomach moving. But watch its movement, feel its movement. How is it moving? Is it expanding nice and slow, contracting nice and slow, or are you going like this? What we want is the wave. The sound like the wave, the movement like the wave. So try to match the sound with the movement. So we're going to do that for a couple of minutes just to get the breath equal, inhales and exhales. Once we've found that nice equal breath, we can start to get into breath work. And this is the point in a class where I'll usually say, you're going to get as much out of this class as you put in. So if you're just kind of doing this and not really focused on it, you're not going to get a lot out of it. But if all you think about is the sound of the breath and the motion of the stomach, you will get to a really amazing place. I can guarantee it. So the breath goes like this. You'll be seated. So you'll be seated cross-legged. I always say keep your thumb and your middle finger intact. So like this, on your knees. Just relax them there. And the reason I say this is to keep the energy that you're creating inside the body. So often in life we walk around with our hands out of our pockets, our palms out, our hands out, and we're just letting our energy go. All the energy we have that we create internally, all the heat, we're just kind of letting it go into the world. And that is draining us. We're not keeping our life energy to ourselves. And people, funny enough, just a side thing, people do it subconsciously. So people will put their hands in their pockets or their hands in their jacket, something, because subconsciously they're protecting themselves. They're keeping their energy inside. But it becomes something else. Well, it's viewed as something else, but really that's what we're doing, is we're protecting ourselves in a very subtle way. So, thumb and middle finger intact, resting on the knees. You're going to let go of everything into the hips, so you're going to... And this might feel like bad posture. It's something that your parents would say, hey, don't sit up straight, or keep your back straight or something. Don't worry. The first part of this class, just let it all go into the hips. Let it all go, whatever it is. You could even scream, you could do whatever you want. Just let it go so that when we start this practice, we're all deep in our hips. And then what you're going to do, and this is a little hard to demonstrate, but basically you're going to come up like this. And it might look funny, but there's a reason for it. So you're going to dig down. Almost sucking air off the ground as you come up. And releasing into the hips. And then on the fourth one, you're going to come up. And you're going to hold the breath. And you're going to push the breath down to the stomach. Down, 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 down into the stomach, down into the root chakra. And I'm not going to get into chakras here because that's a whole nother subject. But we're pushing the breath down into the root, into the sacrum, into the root chakra where we hold a lot of old negative stuff. And you're going to hold your breath as long as you can. Just sit there, sit still, hold the breath. And it might be very hard to get the breath down there at first, in part because a lot of us hold so much stress, anxiety, tension in the upper stomach, right between the root chakra, the sacrum, and the heart. And it's why we feel disconnected between the physical plane and the emotional plane. It is when you get nervous, when you get anxious, you feel like those butterflies in the upper stomach. That's because there's a blockage here. And we're trying to push the breath down through that blockage, through that stress, into the stomach, into the root, where it can then disperse and heal. So you're going to hold the breath for as long as you can, let it sit there, let it energize the body. You're going to feel your heart rate start to speed up. Everything is going to start to warm up. The body's going to start to warm up even after the first one of these rounds of 4. And then when you can't hold the breath any longer, let it all go. And then again in cycles of 4. So you're going to come up 3 times, and on the 4th, you're going to hold the breath hold it with the stomach, push it down, relax the shoulders, relax the eyes, relax the face, let everything go and focus on nothing but the breath. Watch the breath. As you're holding it, just watch it sit in the stomach, watch it go to places it needs to go. Just focus on the breath. And you can do that as many times as you want. Just repeat those cycles of 4. Just keep pushing, and you're going to see the body will change, the mind will change. The mind will really, really start to calm if you do 10, 15 cycles. The mind will focus on the breath entirely. And it might not sound fun or exciting to do this for 20, 30 minutes, but time literally dissipates. In every class I've ever taught, I've never had a student say that was too long. I couldn't do it for 30, 45 minutes, an hour. Most people will say, that was 45 minutes. And I say, yeah, that's what happens when you are breathing, when you are present. There is no such thing as time. There really isn't. It sounds ridiculous, but there really isn't. And you could do this for an hour and a half. You could do it for 2 hours, really. And that's just a tool of you finding the present moment. And in my class, in my classes, I play music, and I believe music is a very powerful tool. I use it as a tool to heal. And so mixing the right kind of music with the right kind of breath, and there are some other aspects to this breath, but as the basis, this will give you basically everything you need. Basically everything you need to heal yourself. So simple, cycles of 4. Just keep pushing, keep doing it for however long you can, however much time you have, just do it. And I promise you will feel better. And if you ever want more advanced practice, if you ever want more, we can go deeper, longer. You can come to the studio and I can show you even more impactful ways of lengthening that breath and finding that healing process. So it's fun. I promise it's fun. Don't fear it. Just engage. Just do it.